Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here on YOUCANIC we have a 2012 Hyundai Sonata, and we're going to go over how to replace the rear brakes. This has got your disc brakes plus your drum brakes inside here. I'm going to go over how you replace these brakes. We've jacked the car up. We've got it supported on jack stands and blocks. Tires are chocked because you don't want the emergency brake set, because you do need to be able to spin this to be able to get this drum and disc. It's a drum disc rotor. The rotor off. We need to get the rotor off. If the brakes are set, you won't be able to get that rotor off. So to start with, we're going to undo these two big screws that hold this rotor on, which is a size just a number 3. They can be a pain. You may need to soak them with penetrating oil. These are worked out all right. Now next, we're going to undo these. They're number 14 to undo the caliper from the carrier. And then I like to just, we've got enough, we can just pop this off. I leave the top one in a little bit just so we can rotate it up, and then we'll put a brake pad inside here. So these brakes were definitely time to go. They separated just on a removal. The brake pad separated from the metal. So I just place the old brake pad in there so we don't over push it back, and it helps to be able to push it evenly. That's good. Then push back, and we're gonna finish removing this top bolt here. So, where we get a little taste of the geniuses at Hyundai, that we've got the number 12 bolt here that holds the carrier, and we got the other one right down inside here, but there's just barely enough clearance, if you're lucky, to be able to get it completely out. So we're just going to undo this bolt here that holds this sway arm. This is a 19, and we're just going to knock that down, and then we'll put it back in when we need to. Should give us enough clearance to get that number 12 bolt. What I'm showing you, see, there's that bolt right there. Without that removed, you can get it almost out with doing a bunch of finagle, but it just barely won't come out enough for you to be able to get the carrier off. So we'll undo the two number, and these are 12s. I've loosened the bolt up here and removed it, the number 12 that holds the carrier on, and then I've got this bolt has been loosened. Just got to finish taking the rest of it out. And remember, we removed or loosened the that sway bar because it's in the way. There we go. We're at it. We'll just go ahead and knock this rotor off. So it takes a little bit sometimes to get them off because the brake shoe's in there, and they can build up a rust ring on here, and then they get in a channel in there. So that's why sometimes you got to tap them on this side to be able to get it to free up. Clean up some of that brake dust. It's just brake cleaner. Okay, so now we're going to do the work on our carrier here. I'm going to have to want to pop these slides off. Slides or shims, whichever you call them. And then clean a bit of that brake dust off. And now we're going to fix these glides by re-greasing them. So you hold the this rubber back and then pull it out. And we're going to put some brake caliper grease on these. Okay, now we've got new shim pieces to put in here. So we got them to push down on there quite well, but to get them in the final bit, just take some pliers and we're just pushing on that to get that to go flat on the bottom here. Put our rotor, let's clean that rust off of here a little bit. We're going to line up our screws so that we can tighten those on. To hold that on there. And then we're going to get that rubber grommet from the old one, pop that out, put this in here. This will keep moisture out, and also that is if this rotor wasn't going to come off very nice, we can that's where you can manually release the drum brakes in there. Now we're going to reattach the carrier. We got that one tight. Now we put the brake pads in there. Same thing with the brake pads here. We got a brake pad with 2 dots that are quite close together, and then this one with the further ones. This one goes on the inside with the brake wear sensor. Slash, it's just going to make a nice screeching noise once it gets that far down. And then take our caliper. The 2 number 14 bolts that hold the caliper to the carrier. Snug those up. And then you got to make sure you put your sway bar back in. Tap it back up. Yeah, you get the point. So we just got to put that back up and then be able to put the bolt in and then tighten that, and then you would be able to put your tire back on, lower your car down, torque your tire to spec, make sure that you pump the brakes until they're hard, and then start the car, pump them some more so that you can fill this caliper full of the brake fluid. So that's how you replace your rear brakes and rotor on your 2012 Hyundai Sonata. And this happens to be a hybrid, but it would go for most of the Sonatas as long as you got the disc brakes on the back. Thanks for watching. YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.